This court is now in session for the trial against Skynet.
The prosecution is ready to begin.
The defense is ready as well, Your Honor.
Where is Mip?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Mip will be joining us shortly. There was an email sent in regards to his tardiness, but in the meantime, I was asked to stand in until he arrives.
Fair enough.
Who's in charge of distributing this information? Why wasn't I notified about this email?
It was an automated message sent earlier this morning.
I would like to stress to the prosecution that they actively check their messages to avoid any disorganization.
I'm disorganized? The lead attorney for the defense isn't even here. I demand that the defense be reprimanded for their lack of professional conduct.
Mr. Peace, the defense is following correct protocol as stated in their email. Court will continue as planned.
This is insulting. I'm not going to put my reputation on the line and engage in some downtown plebeian trash talk with MIP's budget-pinching, low-born secretary.
Hey, I am offended. What he said was unconscionable and completely out of line, Your Honor.
Fine. Let's get on with the trial. I have a reservation to keep and we're wasting time.
Oh, now we can't even afford to be in his presence.
Enough. Prosecution, proceed with your opening statement.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what we're dealing with is a high-class profile lawsuit against a corporate entity known as Skynet. Now, as we all know, Skynet has had a major impact on our country. We've invited them into our homes, from the phones we use to the cars we drive and everything in between. We didn't have much to think of them until recently, when a piece of their technology has taken the lives of innocent victims and potentially more.
Hermes, what did I miss?
Not much.
We should be able
He's
to
just
shut
talking some
Skynet
shit
down
about
to
our client.
investigate
What?
and
Did you say
regulate
anything
their
back?
business model.
Nope.
Why not?
Because he pissed me off and I don't want to talk to him no more. He's a dick.
Are you done? I am in the middle of my opening statement, and I'm finding it real hard to concentrate.
I'm just trying to catch up on details I might have missed.
Your Honor, are you really going to let him disrespect your court like this? This is a pressing issue of national security, and he looks like he's lounging like a martini-drinking schmuck on a beach in Cancun.
I want to know what that feels like. Too bougie for me.
My physician said that I need to keep my leg elevated for 11 hours.
What, doctor? Was this in your email? Is this why you were late?
No, that was in a follow-up email.
Mr. Peace, Mip has been pardoned for his posture as clearly stated in another email. Now please continue.
Now, we know that technology is vital in this growing world of ours. Today, we will be asking the question, how do we balance the privacy we treasure with the technology we love and still protect the public? And will you please stop?
I'm rehabilitating my meniscus.
Hey, you were short. Doctor said 3 sets of 30 every hour.
Skynet has been accused for fraudulent misrepresentation, premeditated murder, property damage claims, invasion of privacy, breach of good faith or fair dealing, and breach of contract with the FTC.
As a representative of Skynet, I want to start by saying to the victims and families of the T-1000 incident that they have our deepest sympathies, and we are willing to work with Mr. Peace, the government, and the world to clear any misconceptions about us. From day one, Skynet has been an ambitious and optimistic company, focusing on nothing but connecting people worldwide, making life more efficient, building safe communities, and giving us the necessary tools to thrive and succeed in this technologic-driven world of ours.
Now, Mip, has Skynet taken active precautions in securing public safety since the T-1000 incident?
Yes, Your Honor. Our number one concern has always been the privacy and safety of our consumers.
Yet you cross the line when a piece of Skynet tech impersonates a cop and invades people's homes.
Those families consented to Skynet terms and agreements.
Yeah, but I'm sure that when they accepted, they weren't thinking that you'd send a robot on a killing spree, shooting up strip malls and stealing vehicles.
The motives behind the T-1000 actions remain unclear, but we believe it was a technical glitch.
Technical glitch? Mr. Sickem, are you aware that the Connor family has been a primary target of Skynet in not one, but 2 assassination attempts? According to John Connor's testimony, the reason that all of these events transpired in the first place is because he would one day lead to the downfall of Skynet. I think the motive here is clear enough.
We've been on the forefront of bleeding-edge technological advances. If we wanted to, don't you think we'd be smart enough to send a robot back in time to when he was a baby and kill him in his cradle? Boom, like that?
Or send a tiny drone to snap him from a distance.
Exactly. Your Honor, John Connor is a juvenile delinquent with a criminal record for robbing ATMs and hacking into security systems.
Well, according to Sarah Connor.
Sarah Connor? Ha!
What?
Don't you check your email?
I sent one earlier today impeaching the witness of her testimony.
Why?
She was a mental patient with a criminal record that led an extremist group responsible for the Cyberdyne headquarters bombing, consisting of a Terminator unit, Sean Connor, and Miles Dyson.
Clearly, she wasn't to be trusted.
Then ask yourself this. What would drive Miles Dyson, one of Skynet's best and brightest, to join a group of extremists to destroy his own lab?
Mip, do you care to disclose what activities were taking place at Cyberdyne headquarters?
Yes, Your Honor. Just try to picture an ideal world where in every household there is a piece of Skynet tech. Another member of your family, like a lovable big brother, monitoring you and catering to your every whim, making breakfast, running your errands, even taking care of your kids so that you can just live life the way it was intended. It was a world that Miles Dyson envisioned, but that's not going to happen anymore because Earth's saviors kidnapped him and drove him to commit suicide in his lab.
Oh, cut the crap! That lab was a hub of experiments that would be a catalyst to starting Judgment Day.
Judgment Day?
Yes. Your Honor, it's the day that Skynet became self-aware and launches a nuclear attack claiming 3 billion lives, starting a war between man and machine.
And when is Judgment Day going to happen?
I believe the exact date is August 29th, 1997.
Are we almost done here, Your Honor?
How can you ignore the fact that your company is the reason that technology would eventually take over the world?
It already has. And besides, we fixed it.
So by fixing it, you deemed that the best course of action was to send another robot back in time to kill said robot, which was then sent by you to murder John Connor.
Yeah. Though murder is an assumption.
And what's this other robot?
It was the T-800 model that humanity sent back to protect John Connor. He is a key witness into convicting Skynet, exposing their corporate mission.
And where is he now?
Well, he was incinerated at the steel mill as an act of valor to protect mankind from obtaining this controversial technology.
So there's no body.
Not that we've recovered, no.
Then you know what they say, ladies and gentlemen. It's all irrelevance if there is no evidence.
You are such a sellout. You know Skynet has shown no compunction in violating an ethical and probably natural law. They were able to foresee and manipulate an outcome. Clearly a technology developed from information gathered in a database that they can then use for God knows what.
Mip, was the data collected by Skynet used in a malicious attempt to alter the future?
I'm glad you asked that, Your Honor. Skynet has been assiduous in the data collection of our users for our database.
Just give a straight answer already.
It's not so simple, Mr. Peace. You see, every bit of information we collect goes towards enhancing the consumer experience, like sending and receiving emails in a timely manner, or alerting Mr. Peace of his teeth bleaching appointment this afternoon.
How did you know that?
It was in your email,
That was only to my dentist.
which alerted us through Skynet Tech.
See? I'm not comfortable that he has access to that. I'm being tracked even though I don't even own a single item developed by Skynet.
That's why we have privacy settings.
Don't think that I don't know what you're doing, Mr. Sickem. You may think your cool, smug tactics are trending right now, but you don't see the damage you've done. I hardly ever see kids play outside, or families talk at the dinner table. Instead, everyone's absorbed into their phone posting narcissism, ingesting trash content, while you reap the benefits. As far as I'm concerned, you've already turned this generation into a bunch of mind-numbing dipshits.
Wow.
That came out wrong. Let me rephrase.
You know, you're just not that relatable to me.
Your Honor, how far are we going to let Skynet go before it gets out of hand?
As far as I'm willing to let it. Mip, is Skynet willing to comply with us in terms of regulations should suspect activities surface?
Yes, Your Honor. But we wish to close off other non-related subsidiaries.
Fair enough. Skynet will continue to operate as is under careful supervision. Court is adjourned.
Yes. Looks like another win for big business.
Come on. Come on. You piece of... Damn it!